Your lowest will become your highest. Carl Jung said, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Your lowest will become your highest. We are working with heliotrope today, also known as bloodstone. I love these. These are heavy. Kind of matches the background, doesn't it? For those of you who are listening, I have a background right now that is autumn leaves. It's beautiful. This looks like where I used to go hiking all the time. There's a trail behind me. I don't know if you could see it, but it looks just like it. This is literally how the outside world looks right now where I live. It's beautiful. I love the fall because to me, it's very grounding. It's about letting go. Just letting go. I was going to say letting go of what no longer serves us, but that's not always the case. This is just a seasonal thing that happens. You know, the trees, they let go of their leaves and they go into a time of hibernation in the winter time, right? So it's very therapeutic. And we're bringing this energy through today to help to ground us in the reality that even if you're struggling right now, even if you're finding it hard to stay focused, well, we have the bee spirit to help us with that, and we'll get into it. Even if you're finding it challenging to stay focused while you're working on some sort of a task here, with a little bit of tweaking, we can go from feeling disorganized, kind of like hard to pay attention, feeling like we're questioning ourselves, etc. We can go from that kind of confused energy into a very rigid daily practice. And I don't like the word rigid, but I'm using it on purpose because that to me would be the opposite of just like everything's crazy, nothing's working, I'm completely disorganized, I don't know what's going on, I don't know where anything is. And I'm not saying that everybody feels that way. I'm just saying, well, we might, because we're in a Mercury retrograde right now. So at the time that you're watching this, we may actually be in full swing here. Mercury retrograde begins November 9th, 2025. And it, we'll be dealing with that for a little bit here. Pretty much through the end of the year, because we have the post shadow officially ending on December 16th. So anyways, this is a timeless reading today, but I'm just saying, if you're feeling kind of like what's going on here, like I was working on something and now it kind of seems like something else is happening, or my attention is elsewhere, or feeling like, oh, should I change what I'm doing, or typical Mercury retrograde sort of questioning that we can be doing. I actually have a reading that I put out on the Mercury retrograde. Just want to take a look here. So, number 226, the plan is a pathway. So, as you're watching this, if you are working on something right now, it could just even be your own life, your own self, your own self-help work, whatever you're doing right now, shadow work, I would recommend watching that Mercury retrograde reading just because we're going to be kind of dealing with this through almost the end of the year. And so staying on plan, staying on path, that is the way, because we're going to feel distracted. We're going to feel kind of all over the place, especially with the holidays. If you celebrate, and even if you don't celebrate, there's going to be people hustling and bustling around you. It's going to affect your energy. But this is what bees do best, right? Bees work well in high speed environments, fast paced environments. They work well within the context of community as well. So if there's a lot of people around, if you're somebody who works with people or somebody who just lives in the world, right? Walking down the street, there's a bunch of people there. Even if you're online, right? Bees know how to kind of handle that basically, and they know how to make the best of any situation. They're very high vibrational, they're multidimensional, they can do multiple things at once. They're pollinators, so they're here to serve, they're here to help, they're here to leave things better than how they found them. Bees are service oriented towards the betterment of the collective, right? So you could be working on something with the Eight of Pentacles with that sort of a mind, the heart of the bee, right? You could have the heart of the bee. But this message in particular, your lowest will become your highest. This is just more of a practical angle that I'm taking today. On previous messages where I have talked about this in more of a karmic 12th house stellium that I have from that sort of an angle. This is more like day to day. How do I move through this stuff? And we're going to take a look at it. Now, I want to read you another quote from Rumi. Whoever travels without a guide needs 200 years for a 2 days journey. That's by Rumi. Isn't that funny? If you set out somewhere, it's going to take you 200 years for a 2 days journey if you don't have the right guide with you. So you could have something that you want to do or something that you've been working on mastering with the Eight of Pentacles. The best guide to bring with you would be this bee, because bees work fast and bees know the system, and bees know how to work with groups. Even if you live out in the woods, right, and you're like living off the grid, we still need to communicate in some way with society, right? So bees, they know how to do a job, do it well, do it on time, and do it in a way that's most efficient for everybody in the group, right? But we're going to zone in more on this Eight of Pentacles, because this is an energy that you need a lot of focus for. Especially if you're feeling a sense of discouragement. Like if you feel like something that you are working on, something you have been working on, isn't like doing as well, or this could just be a worldview that you've had. Like the things that you have tried to achieve like haven't worked out as you thought. This is a message for people that have felt discouraged, that their dreams have not come to pass, or things have not happened in the way that you wished they would. Your lowest will actually become your highest. You're going to find yourself wishing you hit rock bottom, because what's the polarity of that? Standing on top of that mountain, right? The lowest of lows are in turn the highest of highs. So it's all the way that you view it. And there's other things at play as well, like what's going on in the stars, like what's happening in the astrology. Like I said, we're literally going to be facing a Mercury retrograde. And you guys know, I love Mercury retrogrades, but we need to figure out how to stay focused. And that's why I put that reading out. The plan is a pathway. Like that's the plan. Stay on the path. But you're going to feel at this time like you want to try some new things, or you might want to pivot. I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles. You might want to change directions. Now, there's also other things that are always influencing us as well, right? The world, the state of the world, right? What's happening around us in the climate. Also with the sun here, I mean, it also matters what season we're in. We're in Scorpio season at the time of me filming this. That's going to give things, we're going to have deeper questions coming up. Like, Are the things I'm working on like most authentic to me? Scorpio is a deep sign. It's gonna ask those questions. Scorpio needs to feel depth in the work that they're doing. It could even just be the life that you're building, right? With the Eight of Pentacles. This doesn't have to be anything specific, but just so we're keeping all of that stuff in mind as we're moving through these transits, moving through the months of the year, moving through our lives. It's not always just our fault. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with that mindset. I don't know if it's because I'm a Virgo and I can be a perfectionist or what, but through my life, not only did I just feel like things were never enough, but I couldn't ever like just settle down, relax, enjoy my process. Like I don't want to live like that. Because it's like even if you do achieve the thing you want to achieve, then you're just like on to the next thing, dude. Like with the bee spirit, it's like, all right, what's the next task? What's the next thing? There's something about slowing down that will help aid us in the actual joy of the work that we do. Again, I'm using the word work with the Eight of Pentacles, but it doesn't have to be literal work. This is a world view. This is like how you see yourself, how you see the life that you're building with the Eight of Pentacles. Your lowest will become your highest. Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. It's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. And today we are doing a collective timeless reading. Our guide is the bee. Grounding with the heliotrope bloodstone energy. Protection as well. This stone can protect us. I'm feeling into what's wrong here. There's something wrong here. We have the Six of Pentacles. I'm drawn to this. I'm looking at this animal spirit. And I'm drawn to M-A-L, Mal. Like something negative. We have the Six of Pentacles. I've gotta take a side journey here. This is the message though. Like this is why it feels so discouraging. This is why you could feel so exhausted right now. This is why you could even possibly be struggling with like sadness, grief, depression for some. With this Scorpio energy here, Scorpio season, which is when I'm filming this. What is the Six of Pentacles? Because I truly feel like there's something going on. Yeah, we have this Knight of Swords. It's like I can't think, guys, right now. We have the Empress at the bottom of the deck with the Sun and the Moon and the Six of Wands in the World and the Queen of Wands. There's a feminine energy here. I don't know if it's your mother, if it's your partner. There's someone here that is trying, like, with everything in them to stop you from investing in yourself. I'm getting those words. Like, this is literally gale force winds with the Knight of Swords. Also, for some here, it might not even be a living person. I'm getting that. Like, this is something, and I've studied this a lot. when we're talking about it's like I can't think, guys. We're in a pre-Mercury retrograde shadow here. But this is they're having me demonstrate this. I'm just gonna slow down and get present and grounded. Like this is part of the message. Present and grounded. This is also a stone of protection. This is also a stone, this bloodstone, this heliotrope. It helps us to get in communion with our power, who we know ourselves to be. This stone is ruled by Aries. It's a very grounding stone, but it's like grounding raw fire, cardinal fire. I'm seeing like a phoenix rising from the ashes sort of an energy here. And this is, I'm hearing the word catastrophic to those who used to be in power. Now again, this we can tie all of this back to astrology. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Right? So I'm just going to sit here for a second here. Cuz it's so overpowering that it's like my brain, it's like I cannot speak. My brain is not working. What I'm getting is you could feel like you really struggle with procrastination. You could feel like you struggle with a lot of blocks when you're trying to commit to working on something with the Eight of Pentacles. You could find that there's a lot of mental interference. This could even be like ADHD or something, guys. And I know I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't always have to be some crazy black magic and stuff like that. Sometimes it is. And I've dealt with that my entire life. So I 100% believe in it. But I also like to look at the other side of things as well. And there's more than two. There's like 5,000. So you gotta be stubborn with this energy. You can't let this win, right? Like that's part of this message. Don't let this win. We have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Now, for some of you, this is some sort of a critical, it's the inner critic. That's what I was going to say before. I was rudely interrupted. Possibly even by my own thoughts, right? Because I have CPTSD. So every single day, I have to spend time grounding myself, meditating, or I will feel like I'm out of my body. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. That's my personal stuff, right? In order for me to get done everything that I need to get done, this is a very practical part of the message. Sometimes I do have to just completely stop like this and focus every bit of my energy into grounding myself in the present reality and completely tuning out any interference. I'm hearing radical interference, slowing down almost to the point of feeling like I don't have a pulse anymore. That's like the Knight of Pentacles. So that would be the exact polar opposite of this Knight of Swords. Would be the Knight of Pentacles, right? It's like doing the exact opposite of the energy is what kind of disarms it or neutralizes it, I find, from many years of personal experience We have the Judgment card here. It's like we've got to know when to call it. And we're calling it. I'm hearing call their bluff. Yeah, Ten of Swords. Now, back to that inner critic thing, right? Because, yes, I believe in black magic. I believe in all of that stuff. I'm very, very deeply esoteric. You'd actually be kind of surprised, like how the depths of where that can go, because I've lived this my entire life without telling anybody anything, keeping it all to myself until, over the past like 7 or so years where I started to talk about my information, right? So you could be similar, but this is what I'm getting. It can also be that when you're working on something or you're mastering some sort of a craft, or, you're going back to school, or you're trying to start your own business, or you're doing something on social media, or you're just really focused. Like you could be studying astrology. Let's just take that as an example. You're studying astrology. He's focusing all of his attention on this pentacle. There's nothing else in the world except for him in this pentacle. Laser-like focus and consistency, daily consistency, even if it's boring, even if it's rote, even if he doesn't feel like it, right? He's dedicated. He's becoming the master. He will master this craft any day of the week, every day of the week, right? And he has to have that level of discipline and commitment and focus. So this would be the advice that if you are dealing with outside interference that is not yours, call it with the Judgment card. That's not mine. That's not my thoughts. That's not my energy. And just stop everything you're doing in radical rebellion to do the exact opposite of what this energy wants you to do. It wants you to be frazzled. It wants you to be out of your head. I'm getting like, it wants you to just feel like I'm lost. I'm completely desolate. There's no way I could ever do this. Who did I think I was? Now, again, this can be imposter syndrome, right? This can be struggling with the inner critic. And usually the inner critic is born through trauma. It's born through an original experience where we were told, be quiet, you're not good enough in some way, whether that was direct or indirect. Like painting a picture for a parent and you see it the next day sticking out of the side of the trash instead of on the refrigerator, right? Subtle things like this can teach us and implement that we are not good enough, that our work doesn't matter, right? So it's all that sort of stuff that can begin to bubble up just within our own psyche, man. Not to mention all of this other stuff like the astrology, as well as the more esoteric side of things. Like, it's a real thing, especially the more powerful you are. You're going to have people that actively stand against you. That's just the war. That's the war. And that's Judgment card stuff. So you know what I'm talking about. No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Carl Jung. You will face the end of yourself when you are attempting to master something. Period. Right? Everything and everyone and their mother will rise to meet you at that occasion. Every distraction. Every negative belief, every embarrassing moment will come up when you are trying to focus on improving yourself, improving your life, We can use every single negative thing to our advantage to succeed. Because your lowest will become your highest. We're going to get 3 cards. And we're back. Five of Pentacles. Insecurities. Feeling not good enough. We have the Hermit here. See, some of us, this reading is commentating on they're overlooking you doing this shadow work with the Hermit while all of these insecurities are rising up. 5 of Pentacles in real time. These memories coming up with the 6 of Cups, or people coming back from the past that feel like you're outgrowing them, or feel like you think you're better than them now, or all of that stuff is going to rise to meet you as you're rising. The Hermit stands at the top of the mountain, and they're not used to seeing you up there. So for some, this message is meeting you while you're climbing. And it's reminding you that when you're shivering in the cold and you feel like you have nothing left, that you will rise the top of that mountain. And it's all going to be worth it. But there's a lot of tricks of the trade here that we need to implement along the way to be able to ground, to be able to make decisions, to be able to manage our energy and our time and our focus and our attention, to know how to disarm negative energy, to know what's our thoughts and what's not our thoughts, to know when it's insecurities rising, when it's imposter syndrome, and how to work with ourselves, not against ourselves, right? Everyone has power. This would be, honestly, the King of Wands would be this stone to me. This is like Aries energy. You are this King of Wands. That's how you're coming through. You're a leader. You're a pioneer. You could have innovative ideas that are going to change the way things are done. And that's that, right? Don't let people stop you, including yourself. You're a person too. You matter. Your life matters. Your story matters. Your work matters. You matter. Your perceived weaknesses matter. Sometimes your perceived weaknesses are the very thing that inspires people the most. Usually it's the things that we're most insecure about that are actually our greatest flaw is our greatest strength. Because it's emphasized. It's emphasized for a reason. The thing that you're ashamed about or embarrassed about, it's being emphasized in the negative. So what's the positive of that? Hard lessons, and they take many years of mastery. That's why it's the 8 of Pentacles. This is doing whatever this guy is doing, whatever this pentacle is for you, it's doing this over everything else. I'm not saying in a toxic way, like ignore your family and friends and stuff, guys, and your own personal needs and your hygiene and stuff. I'm saying when you go into this workshop, this is your only focus. 1, 2, and 3. And sometimes for me, I have to spend like an hour of my 3-hour time frame just grounding myself, just getting myself out of some sort of weird slump emotionally, or some sort of like spiral my mind's going in, or like sometimes this stuff doesn't look pretty. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when we are trying to evolve, you're going to feel that 5 of Pentacles come up, and a lot of people quit at that point, guys. A lot of people quit at that point, but we're not quitters. None of us are quitters here, right? But just be consciously aware. It's going to happen. Even if you're an expert, it's always going to happen, right? We have the devil. Exactly. With the Sun and the Hermit and the Knight of Pentacles, I knew that I saw him. This is the opposite. This is the other polarity. This is the opposite of the Knight of Swords, is the Knight of Pentacles. So if you're feeling distracted all over the place, interference, distractions coming from every angle, from people, from whatever, pause, ground, and completely ignore everything other than this pentacle. Right? Again, I'm saying that loosely. I'm not saying ignore everybody and blah, blah, blah. I'm saying when you're dealing with who I'm talking to today, with the devil, and you're dealing with like really outlandish stuff, it gets really discouraging really fast when you're having to spend so much time just defending the project, and that project could be literally your life with the Eight of Pentacles. Like every time you feel like you're going to the gym or you're eating better or whatever, it's like everything goes crazy, or you know what I'm saying. Like this is a, we could literally test this out and watch it happen with every single person. And when we hit that point where it feels like it's chaotic and we can't focus and all this negative stuff is coming up, whether it's from others or from ourselves, the imposter syndrome even, that is when we have to be even more dedicated and continue to push through. With the Sun and the Hermit and the Devil, this is shining light on all of the dark crevices, all of the back corner of the basement that hasn't been swept out in 25 years. The Hermit, this is like the bookkeeper. This is even like past life stuff that could be coming up from your great grandfather, your great grandmother, and you know, this is ancient stuff with the devil. He's like a dragon, right? And the Hermit is an old man. Like, so this is old stuff. The light is shining, and usually people want to look away. But this is like keeping your eyes open on the roller coaster, right? Like this is looking right at your fears in the eye. And with the Hermit, deciding to find the wisdom in it all. How can I master my own information, my own life, my own book, the book of my life? Everyone's is different. Everyone has different strengths, weaknesses, circumstances, traumas, memories. It's different for everybody. And each one of us with this Hermit can find the wisdom in it all, right? And that to me is what makes the Nine of Pentacles. So going from the 8 to the 9, but we start here. It's sometimes just the daily dedication with the B and the 8 of Pentacles to just continue to show up to the spiritual gym and just keep at it day after day after day after day after day, whether you see results or not, whether you are making money or not, whether you feel it's worthy or not. It's just continuing to master. It's like 10,000 hours, right? It's you and the craft, whatever that is. And it's prioritizing that above other things. And it has to be a conscious programming that I will make this important. I will have boundaries surrounding this. If people are blowing up my phone at this time, I will say, I'm working on this. You know, I can't talk right now. Like setting boundaries even. Like that's all the stuff that people don't talk about. People who look successful, they could have just gone through an entire shit show before they just got on that live stream that you're watching. Like, and they make it look professional and normal, right? But you have no idea what people are going through in the pregame, right? So That is becoming a master, is all of that shit in the middle. It's not the actual craft in and of itself necessarily, right? It's like everything that surrounds it. Because at a point, you become a master at whatever you're doing here. What really makes the man, though, is when you're still able to do whatever this is while you have an entire crowd watching you, or you have a bunch of people trying to take your attention, or you're run down, or you're struggling with money, or whatever. This is what separates the men from the boys, as they say, right? Your lowest will become your highest. Card number 1. We have the Queen of Wands. Yes, we had the King of Wands before. So the Queen of Wands, very similar, right? But the Queen is more of the receptive fire. So that's interesting here. It's showing me this image of you being somebody who transmutes negative energy, which literally, again, would be like this stone here, this bloodstone, this heliotrope. She would feel things coming towards her, right? And she's transmuting that energy. She's actually receiving that energy in, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, whatever it is. And she transmutes that. She uses that chaos of the mind. She uses that negative energy, evil eye, spell work, the astrology, what's going on in the world, crazy news, people blowing up her phone. She uses that. She takes it in as a receptive energy and transmutes that and turns it into fire and passion for herself. She uses it to fuel her work. Your lowest will become your highest. Card number 2. The Lovers. The plan is the pathway. My Mercury retrograde reading. It's a choice, guys. And bees are very high vibrational energies. To me, the Lovers is showcasing a level of high vibrational love, self-love, self-acceptance. Like, she may need to embrace that more with the Lovers in the Queen of Wands, where if she's having a hard day, or she's having a bad day, or she feels alone, or she feels misunderstood, the Lovers is bringing in that other side of her that can come and comfort her. This is what I mean by that. Like, that would be like this. Like, if this Queen of Wands is having a bad day, she brings in, really, it's like the King of Wands, right? But it's inside of her, because the Lovers, we have the man and the woman here, right? But this is all happening inside of her. It's like she's reaching out. See the hand reaching out to him? She's reaching out to that like masculine element within herself, or the feminine, right? And feeding from that side of herself. Like, she's dipping into whatever she needs. Like, if she needs to be understood, if she needs to be comforted, if she needs to be told that she's a star, she looks beautiful today, she's amazing, like her work's amazing, like, wow, I can't believe how far you come in such a short period of time. If she's feeling like she can't get that from other people, she can get that from herself, guys. And that's why this is such a hard message, because this, again, it goes back to like, this is all the bullshit in the middle that no one talks about. And this is the very thing that separates the people who don't and the people who do. It's this ability to meet yourself where you're at on this pathway and connect with that higher vibrational side of yourself. Now, some of you may have a lover in your life that steps in and, comforts you and encourages you and supports your ideas and says, wow, you're looking great, etc. But if you don't have that, you're not fucked. That's this message. You have yourself. And so part of this journey of the stuff that's coming up while you're trying to master something, your lowest will become your highest. And this is why. When you feel at your lowest, when you feel maybe not great about yourself, Queen of Wands in the reverse, like struggling with confidence or struggling with self-worth or struggling with, feeling like you're not getting any validation from anybody for like all the stuff you're doing, or, whatever it may be, guys, that's the stuff. That's the low. That's the low. So the low will become your high. So if you're struggling with confidence, keep in mind, you're somebody who's capable of being the most confident in the room. If you have felt like you're the least confident in the room, you're somebody who is able to become the most confident in the room. And I would argue, if it's being highlighted, if you struggle with it, it's part of our journey in life to become the higher vibrational version of what we're struggling with. That's my ideology, like what I do for myself, right? So I've struggled a lot with confidence personally, right? I was beat down to nothing, right? Like I've struggled deeply through the years with all the stuff I'm talking about here. So how did I get here, right? The lovers, like I was my own best friend. I was my own lover. I was my own support. And I'm not saying I haven't had people along the way who loved me and supported me and stuff, guys. I'm just saying it's like this is the hard shit that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to talk about. This is the sensitive stuff. This is the stuff that you think about in your bed when you're lying up at night and you don't talk to anybody about it, right? This is what stops people from living their dreams. This is what stops people from being successful, is all of this shit, right? So when it comes up, we can identify, what do we need to be for ourselves now? What do I need now? Your lowest will become your highest because your highest version of yourself is reaching down to meet you, pulling you up. No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Your lowest will become your highest. Card number 3. We have the 2 of Pentacles. Again, guys, this is such a practical message here. 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. It's literally just show up consistently, have a routine, have a schedule. I have a planner that I use. Like I write down everything. I write down all the dates that I have to do everything. I stay as organized as I possibly can. Sometimes it is literally that anal, right? It's like that's the difference between your schedule being completely crazy and having like a mental breakdown and feeling like I can't do this. Who did I think I was, guys? It's not who did I think I was and then why did I think I could and all that. Sometimes it's as simple as, hey, how do the experts do this stuff? It's like people have schedules, they have calendars, they have an assistant, and if it doesn't have to be that for everybody. I'm just saying it's like this shit doesn't just like happen out of the sky. It's like, why can't I be like this person? Or like comparing yourself to a Pentacles, like, why can't I be like so-and-so? Or why can't I just look like that or be like that or present like that or live like that or have that? It's like they have that and they live like that because they work their ass off. They have a routine. They have a schedule. They have this, guys, is obtainable. Like this isn't some like this is for special people. This is just anyone can have whatever the hell they want. I believe in a magician mindset. Whatever you want to have, I would actually argue you already have it, because why are you even thinking about it? Why do you care about it? You could be focused on anything in the entire world right now, but you're focused on something. This pentacle, whatever that may be for you, you can have whatever you want. But sometimes it's like the difference between having something and not is like I have a daily routine that every day at 4 o'clock, and I have an alarm on my phone where the alarm goes off. So when I forgot and I'm sitting on the toilet and then the freaking alarm goes off at 4 o'clock, oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that again. Good thing I put an alarm on my phone. Like that's as stupid as it can be. Like that's as like I don't know. It seems like so obvious, but it's not. Cuz I've had times in my life where I felt so discouraged and so hopeless, like nothing was working, and but in reality, I didn't have a routine, I didn't have a schedule, I wasn't disciplined. Like I didn't even give something a chance. Like I had to be more consistent. Like I had to write 1,000 songs, you know? It's not about doing something one time, it's about doing something again and again and again and again and again. And with the 2 of Pentacles, it's having a routine as well. It's a consistent, planned, scheduled time management, very, very practical, and being there for yourself emotionally when shit's hitting the fan or you feel alone or imposter syndrome's rising up. And like we had with that hermit and the devil and the sun, stuff is going to come up for you to work on while you're working on something else. So instead of looking at that as a nuisance or like, what's my problem? Why can't I just like do this? Like, I'm not good enough. Like all the stuff that comes up, and it still comes up for me, that's the stuff we need to focus on, right? So it's actually a blessing that it's coming up so we can see what is there, because it's different for every person. So for you, it's a specific thing. That's how you know it's real. It's like what you struggle with, that's your thing. And if you can master that, it will become your greatest strength. Your lowest will become your highest. So start befriending that negative stuff, your lowest of the lows, because that's the very thing that will, for some of us, make us successful or make us unique or stand out from other people, make us more authentic, you know. People like real. People like someone who isn't a freaking liar. You know what I mean? Like, people like someone that they can learn from, that they know has actually done it themselves. And, you know, and this can just be in your life, right, guys? This can even be like in partnerships with the lovers. Like, to be able to be your own person, that's sexy. That's desirable. That's long term. That's something that can go the distance when both people have done their shadow work and know how to like master their own lives and have a routine and have a schedule and able to pay their bills, and all of this stuff goes together. So if you're looking for love, this reading might help you. Even though this has nothing to do with love on the surface, it's like if you start getting a routine and, you know, taking care of yourself, working out, eating better, you know, learning something, even with the 8 of Pentacles. Like if you want to focus on learning something or mastering something, having a hobby, that can be the thing that kind of gets your attention over here so that you can get in this receptive mode, Queen of Wands, and it can like allow love in, right? So this is kind of mastering your own life, this message really. But it's to help when we're discouraged to actually look at the benefit of being at rock bottom. So much love, guys. I hope this helped. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Got my fall leaf. If you would like to listen to The Metamystic Show, you can always listen every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as on my YouTube channel at The Metamystic. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can always email me. We'll set one up for you. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for donating to support the show. I appreciate you guys so much, and I love to read your notes, and I just really appreciate everybody, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And so proud. We're a tough bunch, and we're coming out the other side like a phoenix rising from the ashes. So, all right, everybody, I love you, and I'll see you on